is an immigrant. His wife is an immigrant. So how you gonna send them back if you don't send your wife back?
You can't have.
He want us to send our kids back to school, but his son up in the White House, he ain't got to lead the building.
Got it all.
Everybody coming to them. We don't even have a cure for this pandemic or whatever you want to call it going on. Right?
Okay, let me ask you a question. What have Trump ever done for black folks?
Tell me.
That's a lot from fake news again.
Okay,
you keep
but
saying fake news. But what has Trump done?
Name one thing he has
For
done
black
for
people.
us.
He lowered the taxes for the rich people. He made sure even though he tried to help our city with a task force, they didn't want to take the help. The Democratic states didn't want
Look
to take
around
the
the
help.
room right now. Who in here rich? You just answered your question. He said he lowered it for the rich
I
people.
said for the poor.
No, you said rich. We can play it back. You said rich. Now we come under the line either middle class or lower class. We nowhere up there. You understand what I'm saying? So he didn't do anything for us. If anything, he's trying to take from you. He's trying to take your medical. You as a disabled child, he's trying to stop your disability, your income that you would have going into a disabled adult. So what do you think about that? Money that I worked for, that I paid into the system to have a pension so that you could survive. So,
I don't know, young man. You might want to think about being a Trump supporter because he hasn't really done anything for this economy, let alone for this country. If it's anything, he brought a lot of destructions, especially more racism and poverty, because he hasn't done nothing for our people
right.
in general. Now he is looking out for the rich, the billionaires, the multimillionaires.
His friends.
But what is he actually doing for us?
What he's actually doing for us is.
Speak up.
What he's actually doing for us is. He's like trying to fix Baltimore. Even though he dissed us for a reason, because we can't get ourselves together.
Okay, but if we so messy and we got so many rats and Baltimore is so bad, why would you want to come here and have a convention? Why would you want to come here? Baltimore, of all places, is so dirty. Why would you want to come down here to Baltimore to have your Republican convention?
He wants to help
I'm
us.
lost.
He wants to rebuild it. He wants to make it from trash. But we're too blind to see it. That we got a corrupt mayor. We got a corrupt people. Every elected official from here, they really screwed us. Our Democratic Party really failed us.
When you say corrupt mayor, which mayor are you talking about?
I'm talking about Pugh. We have Dixon. We had Dixon. We got all the rest of them. But Jack Young, we can't trust him.
No, hold. Let me pause. What people don't understand about Jack Young, he's been city council president for so long. This was thrown in his lap. He can't come in overnight and change what has been going on for decades. Number one, had he not had to step into this position because of what Catherine Pugh did, he probably would still be holding his seat. Now, because Brandon and them now have run against him, you know, when it's all said and done, what you might think the grass is green on the other side, when it's all said and done, he's the one going to be out of job, which is the one probably have the most experience right now and know the city. As a city councilman, he was good for us because he challenged them. He challenged the mayor. He challenged finance. He challenged anybody that was in that office. That's why they didn't like him. But my point again, where y'all, oh, we want him and we want this one, we want that. The church lady, we know nothing about. I know I never heard of her before that's running against Brandon. This new guy, all of a sudden, I'm from Cherry Hill and I went to Piley and, okay, where you been? Okay, and now you got a Ray Lewis commercial. You think because everybody like Ray, I'm going to run and vote for you. No, I like Ray, but that don't mean I'm going to like you. Okay? Now, and I still think, I always said Brandon is being groomed for it, but he's not ready for it. But if I had a choice, just like I am Democratic, but you do have some Democratic people who do vote other way sometimes, like at the time. Yeah, I can say I am one of the ones who voted for Hogan because he was the one who was good for the job at the time. We had a man, I think his name was He was under O'Malley, and he was running for governor. Um,
Brown.
yeah, Anthony Brown. Couldn't vote for him. He started his campaign off with, and this is what gets me with a lot of our black folk. They start the campaign with, I grew up in the projects, I did that. Well, all of us ain't come from the projects. So you don't have to start the conversation off with me like that.
That's
Oh,
facts.
my mother was this and that. Okay, but that's not all of us. You understand what I'm saying? So they think if they say, well, I grew up here and I grew up there, that's going to make me run out. But no, that ain't going to, because I didn't grow up that way. And I don't get the liberties that a lot of people in low income didn't. I'm not rich, but I ain't poor. But I've been raised to, I know I'm supposed to work. I still was supposed to do, as a citizen, pay my taxes, whatever, vote, whatever it may be that you're supposed to be as a citizen and be productive in society, which I'm trying to teach him. Don't just jump on because this is what somebody said. Read about it. I always tell him at home, when he come in the room, you see what y'all Democrats did? I said, go. I'll give him something to read. Go read it and come back and talk to me. Then I get silence.
Right.
Because that's facts.
Right.
And I want him to understand, just because they say it don't mean it's so. Sometimes you got to read it for yourself. And you got to gain the knowledge yourself. You can't just say, well, they told me this was going to happen. No. Did you see it? Did you read it? Was it in, what's written in stone can't be erased. What's written down can't be erased. So if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. You understand what I'm
Let
saying?
me ask you a question. How much do you really know about Trump?
No.
What I do is he's a businessman. Like he got his way up to the top. Like he didn't get
You
that
know
money
how
from
he
his
got
dad.
way up to the top?
He worked hard.
That's all you know.
Yes, he.
You don't know how he got his money.
Yes, I do.
Excuse me, I don't mean to cut off. So y'all telling me that Jalen is a result, his opinion that he has is a result of Fox News.
I believe so. And CNN and
Right.
Lou Dobbs and
Right.
this is a young
I'm
man
just
who
trying to
sits
get
up
into
all.
his head.
I know, and that's why I'm
to
trying
see
to.
where he's at.
I want him to open up. That's why I'm throwing stuff at him. Because I
Because
want him to talk to you like he talked to me.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
want him to talk to you like he talks to my cousins who are retirees of the military. I have a lot of family members. This is what I was trying to explain to him the other day. Good one, police department. And he talking about what they say, defund the police and all these different things. We have a conversation about that. We have a lot of police officers in our family. I'm not saying that they all, and he thinks that I don't care about the police. He thinks that people, no, I never said that. But if you was an officer and I was an officer and he was an officer and we're standing there and we're holding our knee on his neck, we're just as guilty as him because we ain't stop him or we ain't say nothing about it. So when you see something, you should say something. But don't come back later and now no, because now I'm dead. That's my point. So he came to me and was like, oh, they need to leave those officers alone and they always fighting the officers. You're not understanding. Right after the boy got shot in the back in front of his children, whatever took place, like I said, we were never there. But if his back was towards them, he was no threat to them.
Right.
He wasn't facing them.
Right.
I don't
Wasn't
care
facing them.
what he may have. If his back was towards them, he's no threat to them. That's where I stand at on those things. And then you go through a lot of training, and they had tasers. You don't always have to pull a gun. You got a taser to hold them for a minute. Look at the man that was naked. You told him to come out the door. He came out, he complied. Hands up. You told him to get down. What was the use of shooting that man like that? He butt naked, so he don't have pockets. He don't got nothing. So, what did you say?
What I think about police is some I don't like some of the racist police. It's just that some of the police that are good, you shouldn't have to force them to say anything because they weren't the ones who killed George Floyd or did anything to any of the black dudes.
But they were there. They stood around. They watched. They didn't call it in. They didn't try to pull their arm off them. They didn't do that. And the other one had his hand in his pocket. I could see it in my head. He had his hand in his pocket. Did you not watch what I watched?
What I saw, it was a movie, right? It was like showing that another police officer was killed by another police officer because the other police officer was threatening to tell that other was gonna snitch on the police officer and put the other police officer in prison. So we tried to silence him.
Right. So that's not right either, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's why they were probably doing that.
Don't waving like that.
So that's exactly what they were doing because it's
Just shut it off.
in the police department, meaning that if a police does something wrong to someone, no one else better say anything because then they're going to get demonized on the
Yeah.
police department. That's not right neither. So we
Yeah.
got to fix all of that. Right.
Right.
It's not. What I'm saying is, like, it's best for us to just go out and vote. I'm not just speaking about red and blue. I'm not talking about red and blue. What I'm saying is, vote for who you choose for. It's like a video game. Just be careful who you choose. Like Biden. What I got a problem with is America. It's not gonna really go good. Like, he wants to take away school choice. With Trump, he wants to make sure that he wants us to pick any school which parents can spend their tax dollars on.
Mm.
And then take away the free lunches.
Yeah.
And then
The free
about
lunches
the
are not
$7.99
gonna be taken away.
Huh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's in
He's cutting the
process.
program,
Right,
and the
right.
people that do, not us, which I would love to, but the ones that do have assistance in the food,
Right.
he wants to take the food stamps from
That
them.
been cut. Even when Obama was in office.
No. What's been cut? The food stamps?
No, the food for schools.
Oh, people
That
still,
been cut.
No,
No, they still getting free lunches.
you just don't eat it, but it ain't been cut, but it's about to be.
Well,
But tell them what you think. You have opinion on police department?
what
You
do
have a police on-
what do I have on poverty? What I have on it is that if you are getting a helping hand and you don't want to, and if this like president's trying to help you with the eviction, he's trying to, when he wants to help you whatever goes on in the U.S. event, you should take the help.
He not
You
helping
shouldn't
with
be-
evictions.
You shouldn't be.
No, Trump is not helping with eviction.
He's trying to call because if so, he would have had a freeze on him.
Exactly. And the thing is, you have to understand the agenda behind not evicting people for X amount of time, but then when that time is up, then how's these families is going to be able to pay all that back money?
And it ain't their fault that they out of work.
Right.
But then now you want to cut the unemployment. So if they don't have no unemployment, they still don't have no income. If they have no income, they can't pay no bills. So actually, to be honest with you, they should renew the bill for them because every day you get up and go to work or stand on that bus stop 5 in the morning and all those different things, you're paying every time they take taxes out your check for the state.
Exactly.
You're paying into that fund. So for things and times like this that happen, you should never, this should be. People don't understand, just like with social services. It's not all black people on it. It's more minority. We're not even a minority no more. Let's put that out there.
Like we never were.
It's more white, Korean, China. It's more other, immigrants on social service than us. People don't know it wasn't set up for that. It was set up for when the people was at war and like the husbands weren't there or the old children. It was set up for women whose husbands were away at war. That's what it started from. And so as they come back, and then back in the day when they drafted people, they would come and get the oldest boy or the youngest boy. But if you had 2 or 3 sons, I might not be saying it right, but they would take the eldest child or the middle boy or whatever. But that's what it was originally set up for that fund that was missing from the house where the dad was gone and the military and things like that. But we done got so far past that people, they live in a house together. They done had a baby. Now their daughter done had a baby with somebody, and it just trickles on down. They don't. It's like, when do we break the cycle? Some people do need help. I'm not opposed to giving help because I like helping people. But when do we break the cycle? We don't have to be what people say we are. You understand? And a lot of times they wait to see how you're going to react. You don't have to be what you say. You control your destiny. Everybody has a decision to make. It's just which one you going to make.
Right.
And that's my opinion. That's why I keep telling him. He has a decision to make. But at the end of the day, know why you, in other words, if you were standing for a cause, know why you standing for the cause. Know the purpose of the cause. Know the person. Investigate
That
them.
was my
Study
point.
them.
That was actually my point because, I mean, I can respect your views. I may not disagree. I mean, I may not agree with them, but I can respect them because they're your views. That's your opinion pertaining to you being a Trump supporter. But you don't really know Trump. You don't even know the history on Trump. You don't even know how Trump even got his money. And how many failures that he has had in investing and even in business, period. He was a major failure.
Yeah.
He was a major failure.
His dad pulled him out a lot of stuff. He
His
didn't.
dad
Yeah.
gave his, well, actually his dad was going to get to his brother,
Right.
but because his brother would throw so that he could get it,
Right.
he was dirty. That was dirty.
And did you know? And I'm just kidding. This is facts. Everything I'm telling you is fact. You talking about him in apartments and all this stuff and how he liked to help the black folk. Did you know when people in New York wanted to rent and stuff like that, they would put B by the name to let them know they were black tenants. You remember? And they finally had to go to court for, because that's how he knew if he was dealing with a black person, white person, but he would always put B if it was a black person.
And that's racism.
Yes.
That's racism.
Yes. I believe we should have rent control anyway, just like they have up there. Like it
You
stops.
probably should give Trump a call and say some words to him. You probably should. You might want to just slap him or something.
No, but that's
No,
cool,
but
though.
understand. Here's the thing.
Alright.
Right, here's the thing. Before you put a lot of trust and faith in someone, get to know that person. Get to know what's behind them. What they done be. What they at
Accountable.
now. Really research them. Because once you start going down that rabbit hole, you're going to find out that rabbit hole is a lot deeper and a lot scarier than what you actually think. See, you just basically looking at stuff on the surface, and then you pretty much, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, just agreeing with stuff that you're picking and choosing to agree with.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand too, like when you in government like to play a lot of word games. They like to use a lot of semantics and stuff like that. Because they all, I mean, everybody think black people dumb and black people ain't smart. But we the smartest people on the face of this earth. We created just about everything on this earth.
Exactly.
We was here before any other nation was ever here. But just to get back on Trump, and this is just my opinion, because I know so much about Trump. I know his entire history. Even his dad was a racist.
Mm-hmm.
His dad killed a lot of us. So, it's just something for you to think about. I know you disagree, but I can see the expression in your face.
Speak it.
Alright.
That's why you're here. This your
Freedom
moment.
of speech.
Okay, so
We love you.
We're not knocking you. We just giving you our facts. Now give us your facts. That's all.
alright. The fact is, the drug cartels. The real reason why he wants to build a wall, he wants to stop drug cartels, because every time drug cartels enter the country, that's where the opioids originally came from. The drug cartels. It really kills the kids and all.
You know how, I ain't gonna cut you off, but you know how you can stop the drug cartels? Stop going over there and funding the drug cartels.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they can stop it.
Because
They,
that's
the
what they
army
all
go
do.
over
That's what he
there
do.
and give them money and give them weapons and give them ammunition to prosper.
And
the
allow
other
it.
thing
Yeah.
is they're not even going to stop the drug cartels.
They ain't gonna never stop.
They United States needed here. Who was one of the presidents? The wife was all crazy in the head. What was her name?
The
The
one.
Clintons.
Oh yeah.
The Clintons, the biggest drug dealers.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
The
That's
biggest drug dealers.
why I never voted for the Clintons.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, and they the ones is actually put inside of our neighborhoods, inside of our community.
And that's what kills us.
And then I don't understand why Trump wanted to build the wall to keep the peoples that originally belong here, because this is their land.
Mhm.
They're not trying to kick the. He's not trying to. Some of them that are
So
illegal.
why are you building a wall to prevent people from coming onto their native land?
Some people don't. We. It's so for we make our own stuff. You know, like instead of made in China, made in USA, because we've been really like falling back with all these creations from other states. Like we need our own stuff.
You know, we could have had all this stuff. He don't want to start arguments with these people, and then the things that we need to barter with or to get or however we supposed to get it, he caused that. Like that man told him, I want to say his name right, Jong Jun, whatever his name.
Kim Jong.
Kim Jong. He told him he had a priest say he gonna give him a surprise, a present. Remember a couple of months ago, he warned him of that before this happened. He said, "I got something for you."
Mhm.
And look at us now.
And
Look at
Kim.
us now. You know, I believe that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? He warned him of this when and he said that. But if you watching, it's sort of like go back to what you were saying about the drug cartel and the drugs and things like that. I'm gonna give you a good example. Kirk Smoke. He told them in 1986. He said legalize marijuana.
Which was a dumb idea.
No, it wasn't. You wasn't even thought about then. So, cause I was just in the 12th grade. He told them to legalize marijuana. Now, the same thing that he told them to do years ago, right? Now they making money off it, right? They want to tax us for it, and then you want to still hold. I'm not saying if you break the law and stuff, you should go to. But how are you going to hold these young black men in jail over something that we selling right now that's legal?
That's legal now.
You have to counsel the cases. How are you going? I'm not saying she's my favorite person, but how are you going to like throw stones at Marilyn Mosby because she's saying we got to drop these cases because we selling it
Right.
and it's legal. I can sit outside and somebody can walk by and smell weed. And me as a cannabis card holder,
Okay.
I know that.
So that
You
means
understand? So my point is that they're making just like you said a few minutes ago.
So I guess we put drugs in the Second Amendment then.
Yeah, but he said, if you was listening, we made everything. We did. That shirt I have, I have a shirt that says like, I got all the inventions. Ain't nothing but black folks. All the way down to whether it be peanut butter, to the electric pole line, to the telephone. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it may be, we created. But they making money off us. We built this. They making money off of us. We didn't ask to come here. We was brought here. It wasn't an invitation. We didn't get a ticket and say, well, do you want to spend the night? No, they brought us over here.
Exactly.
And we built this and they making money off our back. And I don't care what you touch, a piece of paper, an ink pen, a pencil, the switch, the light switch, your refrigerator, a perm, Madam C.J. Walker,
Right.
whatever you do, we invented it.
Right, we invented it.
And now BG&E charging us for the shit we invented.
That's right.
And we paying for, you're not even supposed to be paying for air. When you go to the gas station, air is supposed to be free. That's what the fuck we breathe. Oh, I'm sorry. Sweet coffee.
Oh, yep.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I'm
That's
just
okay.
saying.
That's okay. You good.
Yeah, but
good.
I'm just saying.
I
Think of
remember
the-
as a kid that we used
Yeah.
to go to the gas station and we was literally getting free at one time.
I know.
But now they started off with a nickel and it's up to like a
$1.50.
$1.50.
And the
Oh,
only
y'all gonna
place you can
censor
go
that?
now, only place you can go now is Wawa's or Raw Farm to get it free. Now, the other thing people don't realize, like we buying all this spring water.
Yeah, all this gonna be edited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But all this spring water we buy, I remember as a kid, my father was taking us to Montebello, and we would have to take the jugs, and that's where we got the water from over, and the water was cold.
Right.
We would be drinking that water. Now we paying
Mm-hmm.
for spring water. That's something that is water was free, and we
Get it
paid
out the
for it.
well. Remember
Get
we
it out
did
the
throw
air.
the bucket down in the well.
I remember going over there and drinking water from that spring and that fall
I
and
used to
filling
live
jugs.
in Virginia, Lynchburg, Virginia.
Yeah, so I just want him to understand. You can't always, and what he's telling you, and what this man is preaching and teaching, is because he ain't never had to do none of this. He don't know nothing about going back to school because he ain't in the classroom. He don't know nothing about the immunizations and all this stuff because he don't know all our ailments. He don't know. He is not a scientist. I ain't going nowhere until a doctor or a scientist said, and just because you claim you have a cure, let me see the person
Have
30
the
days later.
vaccine.
I need to see you shoot them up.
Right.
And then if you're going to do it, the ones that are doing this, I think you should be made, you do the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you did the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and the whole thing about it, see, yo man, you gotta rethink your thoughts. You gotta because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Mhm.
And you shouldn't be, I mean, you do what you want to do, you're your own young man, but
Just let
I'm
them
just saying,
research. That's
right, research it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But you can
might
still
have to
be a
climb down that rabbit hole
Republican,
a little bit.
but you don't have to read.
But he's definitely the devil that the Bible speaks
Yeah.
of.
Just
He's
watch
not for
all
you. Trump don't even care about you.
Mm-mm.
Period. Not as much as you care about him.
Hmm.
Trump don't care nothing about you.
All right, look at what's the little young lady name that was a Trump supporter? Candace Owens. They done threw her away.
Mhm.
They use them. They put you out there. They use you up. Then they throw you away. So we're gonna wrap it up, guys. Go ahead.
Alright, so
We're gonna
What did you
wrap it
ask
up,
for?
guys. We want to thank Renee and Jalen for coming
Alright.
over and said this was a spur of the moment. We didn't even know we was gonna do this,
Right.
but I want to thank y'all for giving us your opinion. I appreciate Jalen for having his own opinion on who he believes in, and I appreciate Renee for allowing him to have his own opinion. So I want to thank you. Where can we find y'all guys at?
We can find on Facebook. We can find me on YouTube. And that's about it.
Oh, okay. What about Instagram? You not on Instagram?
No, not no more.
Not no more. Oh, okay. I know that's right.
I checks all the stuff. It come through me.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
why we have to do that.
That's invading that man's privacy. That's invading his privacy.
Right. You
We'll
gotta
talk
be-
about the sidebar off the camera.
Right.
every time we haven't been uploading a lot, we didn't have a lot of stuff to go over. But if y'all want to send stuff to the comments, email, whatever, I will make sure to read it. I'll have people read it. And then, yeah, like, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications. That's about it.
And thank y'all for tuning in to our opinion. Good night.
Later, dudes.